In the heart of the Renaissance, a time of extraordinary scientific discovery and intellectual flourishing, one man stood at the crossroads of science and faith. Galileo Galilei, an Italian scientist and astronomer, became a symbol of the struggle between truth and authority. His trial in 1633 would not only change the course of science but also define the limits of human inquiry in the face of powerful institutions. The 16th and 17th centuries marked a period of unparalleled discovery and transformation. The Renaissance, with its revival of classical learning and emphasis on reason, gave birth to the modern scientific method. Thinkers like Copernicus, Kepler, and Galileo were pioneering a new way of understanding the universe, challenging centuries-old views of the cosmos. In 1543, the Polish astronomer Nicholas Copernicus proposed the radical idea that the Earth was not the center of the universe, but that it, along with the other planets, orbited the Sun. This heliocentric model contradicted the geocentric theory, which had been accepted for centuries. The geocentric theory was grounded in the works of the ancient Greek philosopher Ptolemy and was embraced by the Roman Catholic Church. For the Catholic Church, which wielded immense power over intellectual and spiritual life in Europe, the idea that Earth was not the center of creation was more than a scientific theory. It was heresy. The Church had long held the belief that humans and their planet occupied a special place in the universe, and any challenge to this view was seen as a direct threat to its authority. Enter Galileo Galilei, a gifted mathematician, philosopher, and astronomer, whose passion for the stars would take him further than any scientist before him. In 1609, after hearing of the invention of the telescope, Galileo built his own and turned it towards the heavens. What he saw would forever change our understanding of the universe. Galileo discovered moons orbiting Jupiter, proving that not everything in the cosmos revolved around the Earth. He observed the phases of Venus, which could only be explained if Venus orbited the Sun, not the Earth. And he catalogued the surface of the Moon, shattering the belief that celestial bodies were perfect and unchanging. In 1610, Galileo published his findings in a book titled Sidereus Nuncius, which sent shockwaves throughout Europe. His observations lent powerful evidence to support the heliocentric model proposed by Copernicus. However, not everyone was ready to accept Galileo's revelations. As Galileo's work gained more attention, it drew the ire of Catholic theologians and scholars. Many clergy members viewed his support of the heliocentric model as a challenge to the sacred teachings of the Church. In 1616, the Inquisition, an arm of the Church tasked with investigating heresies, condemned the Copernican system as formally heretical because it appeared to contradict the Bible. The Church insisted that scriptures, particularly verses from the Book of Psalms and Joshua, implied that the Earth was stationary at the center of the universe. To challenge this view was not only seen as incorrect, it was perceived as heresy. Galileo was ordered to refrain from teaching or writing about the Copernican theory. Yet, Galileo, being a scientist, was driven by his quest for truth. He continued to publish works supporting the heliocentric model, which eventually led to his downfall. In 1632, Galileo published Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems, a book that strongly supported the heliocentric model. The book was seen as a direct challenge to the Church's authority. Soon after, Galileo was summoned to Rome to stand trial for heresy. Galileo's trial began in 1633. In a tense and dramatic court, Galileo was accused of teaching and promoting heretical views. The Church's prosecutors argued that the Copernican system contradicted Scripture and undermined the authority of the Church. Galileo was forced to appear before the Holy Office of the Inquisition. Under immense pressure, Galileo recanted his beliefs, publicly renouncing the Copernican system. He admitted that he had been wrong and swore never to teach or publish any work supporting the idea that the Earth revolved around the Sun. His recantation, however, did not spare him. Galileo was sentenced to life under house arrest, where he would remain for the last 8 years of his life. His scientific work was largely halted, but he continued to write and explore ideas in secret. Despite the Church's efforts to silence him, his influence on future generations of scientists was profound. Galileo's discoveries laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution. His work on motion, physics, and astronomy influenced thinkers like Johannes Kepler, Isaac Newton, and many others who followed. His insistence on empirical evidence and observation would shape the future of science for centuries to come. Though Galileo's ideas were suppressed in his time, they eventually triumphed. Today, the heliocentric model is universally accepted, and Galileo is celebrated as the father of modern science. His trial is remembered as a cautionary tale about the dangers of dogma and the importance of questioning authority in the pursuit of knowledge. Galileo Galilei's trial may have silenced his voice for a time, but it could not erase his contributions to science. His battle for truth, though fought in the shadows, paved the way for humanity's understanding of the universe and our place within it. The story of Galileo reminds us that even in the face of adversity, the pursuit of knowledge is a light that cannot be extinguished,